Snowmobiles in Yellowstone National Park are offering visitors like Robbie Dam a winter sightseeing tour of one of America's natural wonders.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Really cool.
What do you think of snowmobiling up here?
I think it's quite an adventure. It's fun.
But the growing number of snowmobiles in this popular western U.S. tourist destination has become an issue of contention for many environmental groups.
Based on the noise, the air pollution, the wildlife impacts, the impacts to other visitors who are trying to enjoy the peace and solitude of Yellowstone in the winter, it seemed fairly conclusive that there's really not a place for snowmobiles right now.
Pamela Lichtman with the Jackson Hole Conservation Alliance, along with other environmental and animal rights groups, has been trying to ban snowmobiles in both Yellowstone National Park and nearby Grand Teton National Park. These groups have sued the Park Service, charging that the noise and pollution snowmobiles produce are threatening the fragile ecosystem of the parks. And they charge the snowmobiles are endangering the bison here because the groomed trails the snowmobiles use are leading the protected wildlife out of the park. The bison carry a disease called brucellosis, and if they leave the park to the north, they are destroyed by the state of Montana's Department of Livestock to prevent them from infecting the local cattle population. The lawsuit prompted the National Park Service in November of 2000 to order a total ban within a 5-year period on snowmobiles in the parks. Instead, the Park Service intended to promote the use of mass transit snow coaches, minibuses with snow treads instead of tires, to bring winter visitors into the parks. Many of the snowmobilers recently enjoying the parks, like Carrie Sullivan, were never on a snowmobile before and were not looking for a thrill-seeking adventure.
Well, just being outside on a nice, gorgeous day, seeing all the wildlife that we don't have back home.
Their snowmobile tours, they say, are geared towards environmental education. Here they learn about the connection between the many hot springs in the area and its volcanic past.
This isn't a drag race up here by any means. We're just having a sightseeing tour through the park with a lot of information.
And while on an average day 1,000 snowmobiles may enter the parks, that number is still small compared to the number of cars that come on a typical summer day. The argument over snowmobiles in Yellowstone has become in some ways a national debate about the fundamental purpose of national parks. By opposing snowmobiles, Pamela Lichtman and other conservationists are taking a symbolic stand to protect the dwindling wilderness against the further encroachment of people.
The park mandate is to protect the resources first and to provide for visitor enjoyment, I would say second.
But Jeff Miller in the snowmobile industry warns that the environmentalists' efforts to ban snowmobiles is just the beginning. Their ultimate goal, he says, is to keep people out. There is reason to believe that in the end, both sides in this controversy will accept a compromise that sets a cap on the number of snowmobiles allowed into the parks and some strict standards for noise and air pollution. The snowmobile enthusiasts know that if they do not agree to some limits, then they will almost certainly be banned. And environmentalists realize that given the present political climate, this compromise may be the best deal they can get.